This is for the Chancellor. What kind of, if you can be more specific about what we're doing to get hardware into the hands of kids who don't have the hardware to do distance learning. And then also the other question was, since public schools are sometimes the first line of defense against child abuse, what is the Child Protection Agency, like, do you have any plans for ramping up resources for kids that might
I'll
be
do the top lines,
experiencing
and I'm
abuse?
going to ask our Chief Operating Officer to give some specifics. So we've surveyed, and part of the next 4 days is also to get more concrete data as to who has connectivity, who does not have connectivity. We're working on a figure of about 300,000 of our students currently may not have those devices, so we need to verify that as well. We are working with some really large companies. Apple has really stepped up to the plate. I'll let Ursulina talk a little bit specifically about the numbers. T-Mobile has also stepped up. Verizon has also stepped up. Google has stepped up. So our big partners are really stepping up to help us make this a reality. In regards to the second question, absolutely, I'm working very closely with my fellow commissioners. We're in a whole different environment now. So we're working very closely about how do we continue to monitor, how do we continue to have a pulse, what are the escalation protocols. We'll have more details as we solidify those as well. But I'm going to ask our Chief Operating Officer to give a little more specificity on the device and connectivity question.
So we are working diligently with our private partners around devices. As the Chancellor mentioned, we've surveyed our principals to ask about what kind of devices our students have and what kind of connectivity that they think that they have. So as the Chancellor mentioned, we're working with Apple to supply 300,000 iPads to our students. And we will be working on a distribution method for the over the next week. We are also working, as you mentioned, with T-Mobile to make sure that those devices are activated and students can use internet on those. In addition, we're working with other partners, as you mentioned, Verizon, Spectrum, and a host of people who have really stepped up to want to support our students, so I thank them for that. So you'll be hearing more from us over the next week around how we're going to be distributing those devices and what our expectations are for the devices.
They're not gifting it to us, though. We're paying for it.
We are purchasing the devices, the Apple devices, but obviously they're working with us on reasonable costs for the system.
Mr. Mayor,
Is there a cost to students for the iPads?
So I also want to
another question over here.
Yeah, just want to add to what Ms. Ramirez just said. So obviously we're purchasing them, we're not giving them away. So they're being assigned to students to use. Obviously they belong to the Department of Education, and we want students to have the devices that they need. And sir, if you don't mind, because you've said we all wear the same uniform during this particular situation, I want to thank and give a shout out to our comptroller, Scott Springer, who moved heaven and earth to allow us to be able to purchase these in record time. It's that kind of cooperation that makes a real-time response possible.
We've still got a question over here. We'll do a few more, and then